All right, John. So welcome to the podcast, everyone. Now that you can actually see us, hopefully this week you can see us.
Why do we just start laughing? Why do I just start laughing?
You
for
always.
No reason? You go, okay, John. Like I just woke up and, oh, yeah, shit, thanks, Nick.
Well, we've been recording for the last 5 minutes, but we had to have a segue into it.
Oh, no.
I'm kidding.
Yes, I know. Me too.
So I had an experience today that we are recording a little bit earlier than we planned because it was such a, I'm going to say it was a bad experience that I wanted to share with you so bad. And I wanted to make sure it was fresh in my soul when I shared it with you. But before I share the experience with you, I want to ask you some very pointed questions and get you a response because how long have you been in the car business?
Oh, seriously?
Okay.
I started washing
a good
cars
amount of
when I
time.
was 15 years old.
You're 15 years old.
I'm a little older than that now.
How long were you in a dealership, running a dealership, selling at a dealership, doing all of that?
Oh, 10 years.
10 years? Okay.
I would say.
So you have 10 years of experience.
No, I have a lot more than that.
Well, yeah, you do. But in a dealership,
and
this is what I want to talk about. So put yourself in one of multiple positions. GM, sales manager, salesperson. Put yourself in the service manager's position or a service writer. I don't care which one it is. You're at a high-end dealership. You see where I'm going with this, I'm sure already. You're at a high-end dealership, and there's a customer there who you can tell is probably in his mid-40s, early to mid-40s, driving not a low-end car, not a high-end car, but a car.
My desk is a mess. Why didn't you tell me? We're on camera.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right.
Well, it is allergies.
In case I had to blow my nose.
Right. I do have to blow my nose.
Okay, high-end car.
High-end car.
Do a farmer blow. That would be awesome on the podcast. That'd be great.
It really would be.
Please continue.
All right. So you have a customer brings their car in for service. They've committed to $1,300 worth of work. Now, granted, at a Mercedes dealership, that's not a lot necessarily. That's probably average, but still, that's a chunk of money.
That's an oil change at a Mercedes.
That's an oil change, right? But that customer has committed. Now that customer is there with his 10-year-old daughter, and they pull out their laptops. Both of them pull out their own laptops, and they're working.
This is hypothetical, right?
This is so hypothetical, very hypothetical. Then they finish working. They put up their laptops. They walk the lot, look at cars, look at pricing on cars, look at the addendums. And then they go back and sit down in the service lounge area and just sit there and wait. This gentleman, early to mid 40s, he starts getting a little antsy and starts walking around, starts looking at the glass out in the service bay or in the service department area. And he's got his arms crossed and he's there for 5 fucking hours.
Oh, sorry, Mom.
Yeah, sorry, Mom. But there had to be a lot of emphasis.
Wow.
5 hours. Would you, as an owner, a GM, a sales manager, a salesperson, a service manager, or a service writer, when there are signs everywhere all over the dealership that talks about the fact that they're trying to buy used cars and that they have an exchange program, they're plastered everywhere, what would you do with that customer who's semi-captive for 5 hours? Would you try to sell them a car?
Oh, I didn't even think of that. Of course I would. Well, so, okay. One of my biggest pushes when I was a sales manager and running dealerships was leasing for new cars.
Sure. There's probably 70% of the portfolio at this particular dealership.
No, you might be surprised.
Really?
Because I am regularly, when I ask, I'm surprised. At the last dealership I ran, it was hovering around 90% was our lease penetration.
Oh, wow. So
But
I thought the way you said that, I thought I was low or high rather.
you are.
But
Yeah.
I am high?
You are. This was
Okay.
back in the mid-90s.
Oh.
And so long time ago, but not really conditions that change so much. It's how dealership processes support leasing or don't.
Mm-hmm.
And this will come to the point that illustrates what you're asking for. The way to get more people to lease, or at least aware of the opportunity that a lease may provide for them, is to present it every time you present payments.
Right.
No exceptions.
No
If
exceptions.
the customer tells you, I'm not interested in leasing, no problem at all. You just apologize because the manager automatically writes it in every time he quotes numbers. So I'm sorry, you don't have to lease.
No,
Yeah.
and why would you even apologize? Say, this is what we do on everything.
I'm sorry.
We have to show you as part of our policy.
Here's why. Because you know that the lease payment is going to be lower than any financing payments.
Yeah.
So whether you're looking at a Cadillac or a Mercedes or frankly a Chevy or a Volkswagen, you are going to have a lower payment on a lease for the same exact car, usually for a shorter term. So without getting into great detail, that's just accurate. Yeah. So what we would do is we would physically cover up the lease payment. And we'd say, I'm sorry, he just automatically writes that lease payment. I know you weren't interested. Just ignore that one.
Yeah.
And since it's always the lowest payment,
they want to look at it.
The power of suggestion says, what's that?
It's the takeaway.
And that's how you do it. So the way you get people to consider trading in their vehicles is to offer it to everyone. Yeah. Unless you do it for everyone, you won't do it for the right ones.
Yeah.
It's not like people can guess, it's maybe this is the guy. Maybe this guy will trade.
Right. But John, I wasn't even upped.
Oh my gosh.
No one came and talked to me. So I have to, this is the same dealership I went to last time.
Tell people what upped means for those who haven't been in the car business.
Nobody came to talk to me. I was walking on the lot, literally walking on the lot, looking in windows of cars, looking at the Monroney labels, looking at the price tags, looking at the addendum stickers, which, is what they add on for those of you who don't know, looking at the price. I was looking at all of these cars.
Yep.
Not one.
And with Peyton.
And with Peyton.
Yeah.
Not one salesperson. And I do know that some Mercedes dealerships don't have their salespeople walking the lot, but they have assistants walking the lot. So they'll bring the person into the sales. Not one person approached me. Wow. And when I went back into the service area, not one person approached me about maybe seeing numbers. Maybe I honestly was in a position. And here's the other thing. I used to train fixed ops people, both when I worked in a dealership and in my current role, to recognize when people might be in a position that they want to at least shop. And when that is $1,200.
Oh, I thought you said 13.
13. Well, yeah, I thought you said 12. I'm sorry, but it was $1,300. It didn't come out to. I did get a little deal in the end.
The price is going up as we speak.
Right. It did only come out to be $1,100 or $1,192 when I was done. But that's neither here nor there. It's still over $1,000. If I were a service writer, I would go to a salesperson and say, I've got someone sitting in the lobby right now who has a 2017 C-Class. He has $1,200. He's agreed to $1,300 worth of work on this car. I'd go talk to him. That's all you have to do.
Yes, I would agree. Here's multiple layers here. One layer is if the service advisor is afraid of losing the repair because of that, he or she is probably not going to present it as a solution. If the sales department doesn't pay a spiff, a bonus to the service advisor, there is no financial reason for him or her to approach a sales consultant and say,
absolutely.
Hey, I think this person. So what we did, and I'm not bragging, I'm just telling you because we saw that, we recognized that.
Yeah.
We would spiff the service advisors who brought a person to us in sales and ended up buying. Nice. And it wasn't, like a percentage of the sale because they didn't negotiate numbers or whatever, but they were happy to get $100, just like a referral that is sent in
absolutely.
by somebody else. And we also guaranteed, admittedly, it would be an internal rate where we wouldn't, necessarily
but
pay
they're still
full
getting
price.
money off of it.
They would still get the repair. We didn't farm out the repair if we were going to put it on the used car lot. So, it's one money into one pocket versus the other. But why should it be held against that service advisor for looking for potential cyclical business like that?
Let's even take it a step further, and in the same vein as cyclical business.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of people in the roles inside of dealerships, and this is something, as long as I'm in the car business, whether it's 30 seconds or 30 years, this is something I definitely want to change. I want to get people in there that believe enough in the product, believe enough in the company itself, that they want to see the company grow. Doesn't matter necessarily about what they're doing in their particular job. Mm-hmm. Their whole focus is helping the business grow. Mm-hmm. And this is an example of someone who's not looking at the business as a whole, going, this person...
It is, but it's also a leadership thing, Nick.
Oh, absolutely. And that's kind of where I was going with that too, because here is my theory. Because I was watching, as I was there for 5 hours, I was watching everybody. I was watching the sales staff. I was watching the service staff. I have a feeling today was the GM's day off. Because
when the cat's away.
Exactly. When I was there the last time, my service experience was completely different. I had someone come to talk to me every 20 minutes. I was there for 3 hours last time. Every 20 minutes, they came just to check on me. That was it. This time, the service writer came to me when I first got there, said, "What are we trying to accomplish?" Because for some reason it didn't show up in the scheduling. Because you put it in there, which I had to change it, and that's right.
I set the appointment online.
I did. I set the appointment online. There's something there too, because what I'm thinking is, one, there was a change in management, because the entire experience from setting the appointment all the way through was completely different than the last time, and that was only a few months ago. And then everything that I said earlier, it was the GM's day off, because this service writer came up to me, got my approval, got me to sign. And I didn't see her for 3 hours. And then she came back and said, "Okay, this is what's happening," but never gave me a time frame. The other service writer gave me a time frame. Mm-hmm. So when I got there at 10:30, when 3 o'clock rolled around, and I saw my car leave the service bay, because there's a big window, glass wall. I saw it leave, and I saw him do the test drive. I didn't see him come back, but I waited another 20 minutes to have her come out and say, "Okay, we're all set to go." No, I had to walk up to her office, knock on the window, and say, "I just want to check and see where we are." And she said, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Wow.
Oh yeah, it's done.
I thought we hired you. You've been here so long.
Exactly.
Wow.
Like I said, completely different experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then on top of that, I'm watching, as I said, all of these people, and there are service writers and there are service techs, and they're going into these offices and they're sitting down and they're just chatting with people. Salespeople are sitting at each other's desks, or they're walking to the service department, sitting down and just chatting with employees, not with customers, just sitting there chatting. And you can see people in the service lane horseplaying. You can see people out in the actual service center just kind of just sitting in the middle of the place talking. No one's working on cars. I'm like,
how many service customers were there while you were there?
People that came and left?
Yeah, just
I would say they were
dropping off their vehicles or waiting with you or whatever.
Service bay was always full. I would say there was probably in and out the whole time I was there. Did I mention it was 5 hours?
A couple of times.
Yeah. I would say there was about 25 that came through.
Okay. How about in the sales department? Could you tell, were they busy? Was there activity going on there?
There were a few people. No, there were a few people. Right. There were some people that actually walked into the sales department from service.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it wasn't huge. There wasn't anyone walking the lot, but everyone inside the showroom. And that was the other thing. Peyton and I walked every single car in the showroom too.
Yeah.
Now, granted, they were all AMGs, and no one approached me. Not one.
See, this is and I recognize this because this was when I first started on the sales floor, this was very common, where salespeople would say to each other, "Oh, he's in for service."
Yeah. Who cares? That is the best person.
Which is, of course, what I said when I was a sales manager. Once you figure that out, it's just it's another thing which doesn't make any sense to me. What's the reluctance, especially if you make your living helping people buy cars? What's the reluctance to say, "Hey, how are you today?
Right. Yeah.
I see you got your car in for service. Tell me about it. How's it working out for you?"
At one point in my career, I was not a salesperson. I was a BDC manager. That was my whole job. I was not supposed to talk to customers. I didn't get paid on the cars that I sold. Not supposed to talk
for any weird reason, personality
right.
reason
Not supposed to talk to customers in the showroom. And I was not supposed to take ups because that was for the salespeople.
Right.
You know, I probably sold 2 cars a month just because I was the one willing to go help someone who was walking around.
It's so easy.
It's so easy.
It's not difficult.
It's not difficult whatsoever. No. When I was a salesperson, if someone said that to me, and granted, this took a little while. It was, before I kind of realized, maybe I should. Someone said, "Oh, they're just here for service." You know what? I didn't walk up to the customer. I walked into the service writer and said, "How much are they spending on their service right now?"
Awesome.
And if it was a good amount, I'd go talk to the customer.
Sure.
Say, "Hey, I have a way for you to save that $1,200. Why don't we roll it into a new car?"
If I could keep your payments about the same.
Yeah, exactly.
Would you be interested at all in just hearing what I can do for you on the new one?
Yeah. I mean, worst case scenario, you're going to spend $1,200 on service on your old car, or you can put $1,200 down and lower your payment.
Potentially. And you can look at a pre-owned one. You can look at a new one. Again,
exactly.
And let's be clear. We're not just picking. The reason we're talking car business is because you and I understand the car business.
Right.
I would say as well as any 2 guys doing a podcast these days.
I would hope so.
I would hope so too.
It is kind of our day job.
We're sort of employed in that direction. But that stuff happens well outside of the car business too. I mean, it happens in retail. It happens really in any inside sales element. And that's where you get companies like In-N-Out Burger, let's say. Why am I thinking food? In-N-Out Burger and what was the other one? I was thinking of, like Chick-fil-A. That's the reason why they are so successful, because you disappeared. I don't know where you went.
I was talking to Peyton.
Okay. I loved your screensaver thing. I'd never seen that before.
What was it?
It was just a hide cam thing.
Oh,
I'll show you what it was. It was this.
All right. No, that's interesting. Yours says R for reserved Rocketeer.
Because mine's reserved Rocketeer.
Now you're gone.
Podius interruptus.
I hit record right as John was laughing again.
It happens all the time.
Podius interruptus.
Yes. I have no idea. I was saying, while I'm sure I was I was frozen on your screen.
You were waxing
rhapsodic. Waxing rhapsodic.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. I've never heard of rhapsodic, the rhapsodic
really?
part of it.
Well, I wasn't waxing anything else.
Well, that's good.
You think I'm doing a Manzillian here? Remember, I told you that story, didn't I?
No. Nope.
Okay, real quick, and this is how we do it on PoddiMouths. Welcome. I was at this place in Phoenix, Scottsdale, actually, because in Scottsdale, if you want anything done as a man, I mean, they will, as a woman too, they will do anything. They will fix you, make you whatever. I decided I had these 2 little patches that about this size on my back of hair, weird back hair. I said, you know what? I'm going to go into this removal place, and they quick wax them off, and it's fine. No big deal. I went in, and they were very nice. The lady was really nice, and it didn't hurt because she knew when you should know this probably, they wax it and they pull it off, and then she would put her hand on it right away, and it takes the pain away. It's the weirdest thing.
Really?
While I was there, I heard dudes screaming from down the hall.
Oh no.
screaming. And she's kind of giggling. I'm going, what? And she said, he's having a Manzillian. And I couldn't stop laughing because I swear he screamed like you would imagine. You don't have to imagine
No.
a 10-year-old girl screaming. That's what he was doing. And it was
hilarious.
It was just like she go, okay, 1, 2. It was like on 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yeah. Like Kelly Clarkson.
Kelly Clarkson. 1, 2. Ichi, knee. Kelly Clarkson.
As we relive the entire scene from that movie.
We did. It was very good.
Yeah,
anyway,
reenact.
but it was hilarious. It went on for 10 minutes and then I'm done. I mean, she takes no time with me. And this guy is still screaming bloody murder as they're putting wax. You can only imagine where.
Oh my goodness.
And that
reminds me, have you seen Bad Moms or Bad Moms Christmas?
I haven't.
Oh, you need to see both of those movies.
Come on. No, I don't.
You will not stop laughing.
I will too.
It is hilarious. And then watch it with your wife because she will relate and she'll probably keep hitting you the whole time.
Great. That sounds awesome. Like I don't get that enough already.
Right. We actually have put Bad Moms Christmas into our Christmas movie watching rotation. Not with Peyton, just my wife and I. We have our own rotation of movies.
Wow. That's excellent.
Yeah.
Bad Moms.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll be sure to check it out.
You should. No, you really should. You really, really should.
Sure,
yes,
I probably
you
will.
Really should. Yeah, remember we're on video, John.
I know that's why I'm doing that.
I didn't know that. I didn't know.
So 2 things. 1,000 ships.
Right. 2 things. I know we have to make it a short one this week because I've got shit to do. I just wanted to do everything while I was fresh. But we talked the other day about the other pictures that I was putting up. And I haven't put them up yet, but I brought them upstairs. So here's the first one.
Well, we're getting closer.
Yeah, getting closer. So here's the first one, the Route 66.
Very nice. It looks like you took that right off Route 66.
Well, maybe back in the 1920s, but it's the county jail sign shop, Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then this is the one I was talking about. This is my second one. I've had 2 of these. My mom bought one for me and then bought one for herself. Mine actually broke during a move, so I inherited this when I inherited her Jeep.
That's very cool.
Yeah, so this will probably go right there. Like that.
It needs to go in the garage.
I had it in the garage, but that's what happened to my last one. And also, you can't really see it, but see all this dark stuff here?
Yeah,
that's from a bee's nest.
Oh,
is it mud daubers?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were connected to this.
So they built like the muddy little puck on there? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
So I tried to clean it up as best I could, and I brought it back inside.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's the best you could clean it up?
I'd probably be able to clean it up a little bit more. But I might sand it and try to match the paint.
No, don't. Forget it. It adds character like that.
It does.
Like
no one's going to know.
Sign.
It's kind of like the dirt on the wall. No one's really
I wasn't going to say anything about that.
Yes, you were.
I think it looks fabulous. It really does.
So the other thing, and this was to go along with because this is really an episode about customer service in essence.
As it's turned out, yes.
As it turns out, which once in a while we do have serious conversations. No, never. That's really false. But so as I'm at the dealership, having my less than stellar experience, and let's just say that I am walking into it with a little bit higher expectations than most people. Mm-hmm. Having worked in this industry for a long time, I know what it should be normally, or what we strive for normally. And when I say normally, I'm talking about regular cars, your GMs, your Mazdas, your Nissans, your Toyotas, whatever. Not a regular dealership experience, not high-end luxury. Mm-hmm. I expect more from high-end luxury.
As you should.
That's why I own a high-end luxury car.
Are they a Mercedes only dealership?
Mercedes only, 100%. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I expect a certain level of customer service that I did not receive.
Do you plan?
Would a regular have? If they send me one, I will probably write one.
Go on to Google.
I'm not that disappointed.
Oh. Yeah, because only 5 hours and only they never approached you.
Right.
And only you had to tell her when your car was done.
I know. I know. And maybe I should, and I'll think about it. I'll honestly think about it. But if they send me a survey, I will probably let them know. And I'll say, hey, I have an unfair advantage. I deal with this every day. But here's what should have happened, and this is what I expected in my experience.
I don't think unfair advantage. I don't think you need to.
I would say I have I feel like I have to disclaimer everything. I like context. Going back to the Aaron Meyer conversation.
Context, yes.
But
yeah, and you got me in trouble with her, so I'm not even going to talk about her anymore.
I'm sorry. We'll talk about that on the next episode because we are running out of time.
Yes, we are.
So, but I want to talk about what I got an email during. Actually, was it an email or a text message? I think it was actually a text message from Vanderbilt Health, which is I do some of my healthcare at Vanderbilt. It's the big hospital here. It's the famous hospital here, right?
It is famous.
And I'm just checking. It was a text message from Vanderbilt Health. It said, hello, this is Vanderbilt Health. Nicholas, it's your turn to schedule your COVID-19 vaccine appointment. Please log on to our My Health at Vanderbilt account and schedule your appointment. And they had a link in there. I clicked the link. Boom. It opened up my account, put in my username and password, and set an appointment for 12:30 tomorrow.
Okay.
Now, I have talked to one of many of our coworkers, but one in particular who had to drive from the southeast side of the city all the way over here to the west side of the city, past where I live, which is probably an hour drive just so he could have his shot.
Wow.
And he had to schedule it well ahead of time. And it was a pain in the butt. And he's not the only person I've
only
heard.
If you got the shot in the butt.
Right. He's not the only person I've heard have trouble trying to set appointments, which is funny because of our conversations about the shot in Tennessee. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people have to go a long way to get it. And not just in Tennessee, in other parts of the country too. And this was just so easy. Now, granted, I do have to go to the hospital to get it.
Which is how far?
But 20 minutes.
Okay.
It's not far.
No.
But it was the next day. They sent me a text message about it. It hasn't even hit the news that people under 55 can get the shot yet. That I've seen. Mm-hmm. But as soon as it hit, I got that message and boom, it literally took me 2 minutes. That is a good customer experience. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And there was no trouble in the app. Just get the appointment confirmed, done.
And just as a quick aside, because I know you have to go. I think there was some breakdown, it sounds like, at the Mercedes store with what you did online and how it was integrated into. If it wasn't on the schedule, that's messed up.
No, it was on the schedule.
Oh, I thought you said that your appointment was not on the schedule.
I scheduled the appointment for yesterday, but I had a last-minute meeting yesterday, so I moved the appointment. So here's the interesting thing, which is why I think they switched their system. I used to be able to pull up the app, see my appointment, and move it if I needed to.
Right.
I couldn't do that. It wouldn't let me do it. Yeah, it wouldn't let me do it. Wouldn't let me do it in the Mercedes app either. I had to go to the website to even pull up the service scheduler, which before I did it in the Mercedes app.
Yeah. I've heard that before, by the way, that there's a breakdown. It was with the Cadillac app, which I happen to have.
Okay.
A breakdown between tier 1 and tier 3. So the manufacturer and the dealership sometimes.
Okay. Yeah. So, and I do know, I did find out actually, to be perfectly honest, that they haven't changed their system. It's the same system. And I won't mention who it is because I don't want to call it out, but, so I couldn't change my appointment. So I used the instant messenger because I was in the meeting at the time. So that pop up for the chat. So I chatted with the service BDC person. I said, hey, here's my appointment. Here's my last name. Here's my phone number. Here's the time. This is what I needed done. They said, that's fine. We'll set you up a new appointment, which they did for tomorrow, which is today, tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. And I said, that's great. Said, remind me one more time what that service was. And I told them it's my rotors. I need this done. I need new brakes, blah, blah, blah. I also need to have the alignment looked at. Okay. It's all in there. We'll see you tomorrow at 10:30. They sent me an appointment confirmation. That was a good experience. But when I got there today and said, I have an appointment, and they saw the appointment, but they said, we have no information about what you wanted done. Yeah. So they didn't put notes in.
Did you say that? My fault.
No, I said, It might have been because I changed my appointment and I used chat, but I did tell them that this is what I needed.
Not your fault.
It's not my fault,
No.
but still, I mean, I was more giving context as
Sure.
to why it might not be there, because I am a problem solver.
Understood. However, and they could have reacted to that and fixed it a lot
Yes.
better than they did.
Yes, they could
5
have.
hours to me, most dealerships, if you're going to be a waiter, which means you're waiting for your vehicle and not leaving and coming back, and it's going to be 5 hours, you need to offer an alternative.
Yep.
To that person.
100%.
You know, we've got a loaner, we've got a rental. Well, you know, let's get you into a rental or something.
The last time I was there, he said, it's probably going to take 2 hours. Would you like to wait? And I said, that's fine. I'll wait. It's 2 hours. And yes, it went over, but he said he was telling me every time it went over.
That's inexcusable. It really is.
No, he could have. I mean, he probably would have offered if I said,
I mean, today's inexcusable.
Today's, yeah.
And
today,
while you're there that long, why not offer an alternative vehicle? But hey, you know what? Let me put you in this new one.
Yeah.
And why don't you take that for dinner? Or why don't you just come back? We'll see you tomorrow morning. I just need to have you sign this and off you go.
You've been here 2 hours. I'm so sorry. Your wait's been so long. I even if they said, I don't know how much longer it's going to take, but why don't we do this?
Yeah.
Put you in this car and, off you go.
Just as a thought, an option for somebody who may be considering another car at some time in the future.
And you never know.
Whatever. Yeah.
You never know. And here's the other thing. Me as a parent, I look at someone who has their child with them and go, oh, they don't want to be here that long.
Yeah.
That's another key. It's another hint. I don't know.
Yeah. It's a good one.
But I'm done complaining. I had to get that off my.
Are not.
It just drives me nuts because that's our business, and that's
just
what we
do an
teach
aside
every day long.
Hey, PoddiMouths listeners and viewers, it's really good to see you. Nick just lied.
I didn't lie.
You said you're done complaining, liar.
For today.
Oh,
that's all I had to complain about. I'm excited for my shot tomorrow.
Are you really? I'm excited to hear if you have any side effects.
I don't even know which one it is. That was the one
probably
thing it
won't
didn't
be
say
getting
on
the
there.
second one. Oh,
what?
Well, maybe it's just one. Maybe it's the Johnson & Johnson.
It could have been because they said in the email or in the text message that I had to set 2, but it only let me set 1.
Oh,
so maybe it is.
Well,
I don't know. I don't know. I kind of want the Pfizer one, and I don't know why I do.
I don't either. The Johnson & Johnson is interesting. Instead of using alcohol swabs, they actually put baby powder on before they give you the shot.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, I killed him.
Yeah, someone should. Anyway, John, as usual, it has been fun.
It has
I'm
been
glad.
fun.
Thank you for allowing me to vent because I really needed it today.
It was good.
And I've had a great week. I really have had a great week, and we can talk about that later, but I've had a big week, and that just kind of, it just pissed me off. And the longer I stood there, I'm just like, but you want to know the funny thing? The whole time I'm going, this is going to make a great PoddiMouths episode.
Yeah, you're saying that probably angrier and angrier. This is going to make a really good PoddiMouths episode like that. Okay, 2 things. Speaking of which,
I love your shirt.
If you can't
potty
see
dusting.
It says the PoddiMouths, and at the bottom of the microphone, it says potty dusting. And I wore this for a meeting this morning.
Nice.
And I was delighted to have it on. I am having pour over coffee at what time?
5:30.
Yeah. And so it's actually really good. I probably won't sleep tonight, but
probably not.
I sleep about the same whether I have coffee late or not. So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So I thought I would enjoy it. But a pour over, I can't do a pour over without thinking of Nick Kubik.
Aw, I can't potty dust without thinking of John Quaddy.
I can't get a brake job without thinking of John Quaddy in the service department. All right, get out of here.
Well,
Say hi to the ladies.
I will, but one thing about the PoddiMouths shirt is because we never can. But that was actually the episode we played last week was the potty dusting episode.
Potty dusting.
Yeah.
Yes, that was a classic
It was.
PoddiMouths. And if you would like your own PoddiMouths shirt, the PoddiMouths, just go to PoddiMouths.com, go to our merch store, and get you one. I got to tell you what, it fits really well. It fits well.
It looks really
does.
good.
I'm
No, and
kinda
they're
surprised.
soft and they're nice.
Thank
Jennifer
you.
wears hers all the time, and she's like, "Can I order a couple more of these?" Because she loves
Nice.
the yeah.
That's our girl.
Exactly.
That's our girl.
All right, folks. As John said, head up to poddymouths.com, check out our social media networks, all of that good stuff. Check out some of our past episodes up there as well. And don't be afraid to visit some of the websites that we have linked up. Oh, I didn't even get to talk about the fact that I had dinner with Mike. We'll talk about that next episode.
That for sure. It's going to be a Jeep episode.
It's going to be a Jeep episode.
Jeep episode.
I'll be in a good mood. I won't complain.
Yes, you will.
I probably will.
Then I won't tune in if you don't complain.
Oh, well, it's going to be a one-sided episode like I thought this one was going to be earlier.
That's all right. You can say things and then pretend to wait for me to answer like you usually do.
That's yes. Yes, the magic of editing.
Yes, for sure.
All right, everyone. Have a great week. We'll talk to you next week.
See ya.